Every now and then I'll get a support email from my Google Voice Autoreply site asking for a feature or trying to figure out why their setup isn't working properly. I noticed quite a few people were asking for a system that would send a reply based on keywords found in the text message, so I decided to build it out. I wanted the system to work outside of Google Voice, since the response times can be as long as 5 minutes with the duct tape solution I have on my site. Ideally, someone texting the number would get a reply within seconds. I also wanted it to be easy enough to configure that less technical visitors could manage the system. With the setup on my site, you still have to copy and paste code, and I'd rather keep that under wraps. The simpler, the better. I decided to go with Twilio because I was most familiar with their dashboard and API, though I know there are some alternatives out there that are cheaper. For now, I just want to get something up to see if there's any interest and to figure out how much people will pay. For most of the projects I work on, I'm the only developer. Sometimes I'm responsible for the iOS and Android versions of an app, plus a website and backend. I like how I don't need to talk to anyone else if I want to change something, but it can be a lot. For me, serverless options like AWS Lambda, DynamoDB, and CloudWatch let me get more done faster without having to worry about maintenance. I like the pay-as-you-go pricing structure too. Got a decent enough website and CloudFormation template, so it didn't take too long for me to get a basic site up with some instructions, some fields where you can add and remove keywords and their responses, and enough of a backend to interface with Twilio webhooks and their SMS API. Getting a subscription mechanism up with Stripe wasn't too bad either, though I need to find an easier way to test the new subscriber flow. When someone buys a subscription, the system will find and purchase a Twilio number for them, configure it to send webhooks to the right endpoint, then update my database with subscription details and unlock the subscriber feature. It's not too bad, but it's not exactly trivial. Here's the site itself. It's a little wordy. It's even worse for free trial users, because I know what I'm doing, and it should be as hard as possible for people to get started. Here's the dilemma. These phone numbers cost around $2 a month to own, and if I'm charging $10 a month for a subscription, there would have to be an unbelievable conversion rate from free trial users to paid users for me to break even. Now I could also just buy a pool of numbers and reuse them every time a free trial user runs out of their 20 free text messages, but I don't want to add that kind of complexity for something that's still a bit of an experiment for me. Nobody has paid me yet for this, so I don't want to commit too hard. You can add new keywords and responses here, and here's where you set your test phone number. We need a test phone number because each free trial user is sharing the same Twilio number, and we need some way to distinguish which trial account is texting the Twilio number. Now that we've added a few test keywords, you can see when we text the trial number from our test number, we get the expected response. You'll also notice that since we're on a free trial, we only get a certain amount of free messages. I've artificially inflated this account since I'm using it for testing. Pretty much all it does right now, which could be why no one's paid for it yet. There is also a log screen that helps with debugging. Very fancy, I know. The next feature I'm working on should make the site a lot more helpful. There's another project I have that uses the ChatGPT API to parse user messages and get them into a format you can handle with code. I'd like to do something similar with this project. For example, routing messages down different paths of behavior based on whether or not the message confirms or denies the previous message. For example, you could use it to confirm intent after handling certain keywords. Can you tell me more about your pricing? Sure, we have two different types of pricing, fixed price and hourly. Would you like to know more? I would. Fixed price contracts work well for projects where you already have a good idea of what you want to build. There are milestones. I think it would also be interesting to introduce events triggered when certain conditions are met for a person texting a number, like sending an email to the phone number's owner when someone agrees to be contacted about a particular service. As you can see, there's plenty for me to work on, so I'll go ahead and end the video. Thanks for watching.